Welcome, dear child, to tonight's bedtime adventure. Snuggle under your blanket, rest your head on your pillow, and let your imagination drift as we step into a magical forest. A place where animals talk, where lessons hide inside little stories, and where dreams shine like stars. Tonight, we shall hear about two unlikely friends, one quick and playful, the other slow and steady. This dear little dreamer is the story of the tortoise and the hare. Once upon a time, in a forest that smelled of pine needles and wild flowers, the sun stretched its golden arms across the land. Birds chirped cheerfully, the river whispered as it slid over smooth stones. And somewhere in the tall grass, two friends were beginning their day. One was a tortoise, with a shell shaped like a polished stone and eyes that twinkled kindly. He was not fast. No, the tortoise walked slowly, carefully, one step at a time. But he was patient. He was thoughtful, and he always reached where he needed to go. The other was a hare, sprightly, lively, and full of boundless energy. His fur was soft as clouds, his ears tall and twitching, and his legs so powerful that with one leap he could cover what took the tortoise many steps. The hare loved to run. He loved the feel of the wind rushing past, the thrill of bounding through meadows, the way the world blurred when he darted across it. The hare and the tortoise were friends, unlikely ones, perhaps, for they were so very different. But in the forest, friendships are not built on sameness. They are built on laughter, kindness, and the joy of company. One fine morning, as the sun climbed higher and butterflies floated lazily in the air, the hare was feeling particularly proud of his speed. He darted this way and that, leaping over fallen logs, circling trees, and bounding ahead, always circling back to the tortoise with a grin. "Oh, tortoise," laughed the hare, "you are so slow. Watch me." And with that, he sprang forward, vanishing into the distance in a blur of ground fur. Moments later he bounded back, hardly out of breath. "See, I can run to the stream and back before you've even taken 10 steps. The tortoise lifted his head, blinking calmly. "Yes, hare, you are very fast, but don't you ever wish," teased the hare, "that you could be like me, that you could feel the wind rush past your ears, that you could leap and race and dance across the ground?" The tortoise chuckled softly, his voice low and warm. "Perhaps, but I am content. My steps may be slow, but I always reach where I am meant to go." The hare twitched his nose, unsatisfied. He wanted to prove, once and for all, that speed was better than patience. And so he declared, "Then let us have a race. A true race, from here to the big oak tree at the far edge of the meadow. Whoever reaches it first shall be declared the fastest, and the better of us two." The tortoise tilted his head, thought for a moment, and then nodded. "Very well, hare. Let us race." The news spread quickly. Birds fluttered from branch to branch, chattering. The fox told the deer told the squirrels, and soon every creature in the forest knew the hare and the tortoise would race. The morning of the race ride, bright and clear, the meadow was filled with animals who had come to watch. The fox volunteered as referee. The birds perched on branches to get a better view. The squirrels sat on stumps, their tails twitching with excitement. The tortoise stood at the starting line, calm and steady. The hare bounced up and down beside him, brimming with energy. a confident smile on his face. "Are you ready?" asked the fox, raising his paw. "Ready," said the hare eagerly. "Ready," said the tortoise quietly. "On your mark, get set, go." And with a powerful leap, the hare shot forward like an arrow. The tortoise took his first slow step. The hare ran swiftly, his legs carrying him across the meadow in long, graceful bounds. He glanced back, laughing to himself. "Poor tortoise," he thought. "He's barely moved from the starting line. I could dance and play and still win this race." So the hare slowed down. He hopped after butterflies, chased grasshoppers, and sniffed at wildflowers. He even stopped to nibble on some sweet clover by the riverbank. When he looked back again, the tortoise was indeed far, far behind. This made the hare grin with pride. "There is no way he will ever catch me," he boasted. "Why, I could take a nap right here beneath this shady tree and still beat him easily." And so, with the warm sun above and the soft grass below, the hare curled up at the base of a tree and drifted into sleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise continued, step by step, slowly, steadily. His shell was heavy, the ground uneven, but he never stopped. The sun grew warmer, and the tortoise paused to sip from the stream, then continued on his way. Birds flew above him, cheering him on. "Keep going, tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race." The tortoise smiled, though his pace did not quicken. "Thank you, friends, step by step. I shall reach the end." Hours passed. The tortoise plodded along, determined, never once stopping to rest too long, never once distracted by butterflies or flowers. His eyes stayed fixed on the path ahead, on the big oak tree at the far end of the meadow. At last, the hare stirred. He yawned, stretched, and blinked in the golden afternoon light. For a moment he had forgotten the race, but then it came rushing back. "The tortoise," he gasped. He leapt to his feet and darted forward. The meadow blurred past him as he raced with all the strength in his legs. But as he drew near the oak tree, his heart sank. For there, just a few steps from the finish line, was the tortoise, steady, determined, and still moving forward. The hare pushed harder, faster, but it was too late. With one final step, the tortoise crossed the finish line. The meadow erupted in cheers. The birds sang, the squirrels clapped their tiny paws, and the deer stomped their hooves in applause. The tortoise lifted his head, smiling gently. He was tired, but proud. He had done what he set out to do. The hare skidded to a stop beside him, panting. His ears drooped, and his proud smile had vanished. You beat me," he said in disbelief. The tortoise nodded kindly. "Yes, hare, you are very fast. But speed alone does not always win. Slow and steady, with patience and perseverance, often brings success." The hare bowed his head. Ashamed. "I was foolish. I thought I could not lose. But I see now. You are wiser than I." The tortoise chuckled. "We both have our gifts, hare. You have speed. I have patience. But perhaps the greatest gift is knowing when to use them wisely. And so, dear child, the animals of the forest learned a lesson that day. The hare never again boasted of his speed, though he still loved to run, and the tortoise became a symbol of patience and determination. Whenever the animals faced a challenge, they would remind each other, remember the tortoise and the hare. Do not rush too fast, nor boast too proud. Slow and steady, step by step, will always take you far. And now, dear little dreamer, as you lie in bed, remember this story. Perhaps you feel slow at times, perhaps others seem faster, but with patience, kindness, and perseverance, you will reach your dreams. Close your eyes, imagine the tortoise plodding gently along, the hare leaping through meadows, the sun shining softly over the forest. Breathe slowly, deeply, like the steady steps of the tortoise. And as you drift into dreams, carry this gentle truth with you. Victory is not always for the swift, but for the steady and the true. Good night, little dreamers. May your sleep be peaceful, and may your dreams be filled with wonder.